Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lucky Dog Thursday Night Truck Series here from Kansas Motor Speedway. I am your broadcaster this evening, William McKellar. Going to be running the race with these boys tonight. Before I get too deep into things, I'm going to go ahead and move myself to the end of the line because I got to get through these standings. Got to let you know where everyone's starting. So before we get too deep into things, let's go through your starting lineup. Starting first, we have the number 9 of John Held, and to his outside in second, we have the 429 of Paul Whipp. In third, we have the 28 of Larry Boyle, and fourth, the 51 of Craig Mayer. Fifth is the 19 of Ben Gear, and sixth, the 89 of Randolph Richard. Seventh would have been myself. That's where I qualified, but like I said, we're going all the way to the back tonight. In eighth, we will have the 70 of Gary Piccolo, and in ninth, the 6 of Brian Pierce. Starting in 10th, we have the 777 of Michael Pegg. He's got a substitute driver this evening, so we'll see how that works out for them this evening. Starting 11th is the 37 of Doug Lockrow, and in 12th, we have the 50 of Todd Willis. 13th is the 25 of Mark Berry. 14th is the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Starting in 15th is the 33 of Gary Ragland, and in 16th, the 59 of Ralph Blair. 17th is the 111 of John Henderson, and in 18th, we have the 52 of Gary Whitmer Sr. Starting 19th, we have the 77 of Lee Staples, and in 20th, we have the 91 of Joel Guy. Starting in 21st, we have the 58 of Chris Hogue, and finally in 22nd, we have the 56 of David Berry. So in all of that, because like I mentioned, I went ahead and gave myself an EOL so I could go through that without having to worry about getting into anybody, because Lord knows I've done that before. That'll put me back in the 22nd position. So it's going to be a little bit of an interesting race getting up through this field here. We got 46 estimated laps of fuel, and so that's going to really play with the fuel strategy. If you're able to save about 8 laps, then you can make it on one stop, but it's very difficult to save fuel in these vehicles at this track. So we'll see exactly how this goes. Anticipate a good one. I expect a lot of pack racing for at least the first 20 laps of each run. These trucks, it's almost like a mini Daytona running these trucks here at Kansas. I expect a lot of pack racing, a lot of give and take. So we head here into turn 1. Looks like Paul Whipp was not able to keep it alongside the 9. I believe that's the 9 there for the lead. So those guys, I believe the 9 cleared him going down through turns 1 and 2. So lights come on. Yep, that is definitely 9 of John Held. He is holding his own, holding it beautifully down there along the bottom. I make my way past Joel Guy, David Berry here going into turn 1 again. You see it's getting close, 3-wide racing. Some guys considering it a little further up in the field, thinking better of it going there through turns 1 and 2. And, I mean, if you're going to do 3 wide, now's the time to do it while the tires are still fresh. It's not necessarily a good idea, but it's going to be better doing it now than later when these tires are all just tore up. So these guys really spread out over the front stretch. That's going to happen all night. Folks going down to the apron, trying to cut the course a little bit, really shore up their, whatever kind of gains they were able to make through turns 3 and 4. Other guys keeping up a little higher, trying to see if they could get a pretty good momentum run going there through the trioval. I think the big question tonight is going to entirely come down to fuel strategy. Who's got the gas and who doesn't? As of right now, I'm having a little bit of a issue holding on to the draft here of this main pack. 17 guys, all part of one big pack up there at the front, and then it is almost a full second from Gary Whitmer Sr. back to myself and Lee Staples, 18th and 19th. So we're trying to catch them, managed to pull them back about a 10th. It looks like you guys are pretty hard racing there for the lead. A bunch of guys pushing and shoving, trying to get there trying to get their nose out there. But John Held is holding them off. He's doing everything he can. I believe that's the 28. Yes, that is a 28 of Larry Boyle. He's got working behind him. I see the 19 of Ben Gear. He's down there on the bottom. He's giving a good push down there on the bottom. Side by side, we're almost 3 wide there for second place. Paul Witt there on the outside. Looks like 28 is able to get that thing tucked back down in front of the 19. But unfortunately, what it looks like we have up here is a little bit of a parking. You see John Held, he is using all of that opening he can, trying to make sure that he is beating Paul Witt to the line, beating him to turn 1. That's what he needs to keep doing. Because if he can't keep beating Paul Witt to corner entry, he is going to have one hell of a time trying to hold him off. And we see what Paul Witt can do with that side draft. He gets to your outside and just kind of lays on your right rear quarter panel. More and more we see these outside lanes, they prevail over the course of these long runs. That seems to be in a lot of these tracks the place you want to be to make passes late in the game. I mean, we're only 8 laps in right now. Everyone's truck's still handling fresh, still handling fun. We'll see how this feels here in about 15 to 20 laps. Once we get some age in these tires, especially folks like, the 59 of Ralph Blair here in front of me, the 43 of Sandy Curtis, 89 of Randolph Richard. All these guys, I mean, they're running, they haven't had clean air at all. And so the further we get in, the more these tires are going to wear. I expect to see these trucks get real tight. Seeing a couple guys taking excursions up into that green American ethanol wall there on the backstretch. We head through turns 3 and 4. I myself have been able to make up a few positions to the outside of the 59 of Ralph Blair, up to the 16th position, well, to the 15th position. And I'm already noticing, the closer I get to this pack, the less grip I have on the front end of this car. I'm already making it to the point where I'm having to do little burp lifts just to be able to get this truck to settle going through the corners, but even then it's so tight. The closer I get to these guys, pulled up right to the rear of Gary Ragland, and this truck just did not want to turn coming out of turn 4 there. Able to wrap the bottom there. That's a little bit more what we're looking for. So we're working our way up to the rear bumper, the 43 of Sandy Curtis. It is too wide all around in front of us. Not really much room. Like if we get a run, we can't really go anywhere with it. So our plan might be just to tuck up to the rear bumper of the 777, see if we can mirror that truck, see if we can make that work for us. We're making moves, we're making time, gain a little bit of ground every single lap, but not enough for us to be able to clear him, see if we can get ourselves that corner arc that would really help us a lot. Just not able to quite get there. He's got a massive run there along the outside. So we're just hanging out, 14th position, watching these guys race up front. It's 429 of Paul Witt. Looks like he's diving it down low, trying to get to the inside of John Held, see if he can get by. John tried a little bit of a side draft, not quite able to make it work. I think Paul takes that lap. The 9 noses back ahead, going here into turn 1, but he's got that outside lane, and unfortunately for him, if he can't keep Paul Witt pinned down there, it's not really going to work out too well. Those guys probably going to be stuck side by side like the rest of us, especially since it looks like the 9 is the one who's got the push there on the outside. I believe, is that the 51 who's pushing him? That'd be the 51 of Craig Mayer is the one who is working the 9 of John Held there on the outside. 19 of Ben Gear, just seeing who he can follow, which lane's got the speed. See the 89 taps the apron, shoots him up the track. 777 moves up high to try and dodge any potential issues. Randolph Richard gets it all gathered back up. But as we're rolling, I'm seeing more and more people graduate to that outside lane. The bottom just does not have, the coordination, organization, whatever word you want to use. It does not have the speed really to hang with that outside lane. As we get further and further in this run, this truck is getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I think it's going to be one of those. Oh, 429, 9. They go down the track. Paul Witt, no caution. Not certain what happened there. Paul looked like he got away scot-free. 9 to John Held. He got sent around. I don't think he made contact with the outside, the inside wall. That should put, I believe it's the 51 of Craig Mayer. They're in the lead. 19 of Ben Gear will be second. We're finally able to move our way to the outside lane. See if we can make some moves up here. 9 of John Held. That truck doesn't look too damaged, but I just did like 180 mile an hour flyby, so I'm not entirely certain that my opinion of that truck is what one would consider accurate. Not able to clear the 33. Gave me a good side draft going down the backstretch. It's going to hurt my momentum going into 3. So we dive it off in. We're able to clear Gary Ragland there. Slide up right here behind the 43. Sandy Curtis, 89 of Randolph Richard. Puts us up into the 12th position. He's coming back here on the inside. We're just going to hang it, foot to the floor around the outside. They are 3 wide ahead of us. Almost contact with the outside wall. That 25 looking mighty. Oh, he collected the 777 and the 50. Headed towards the inside lane. What this will do is this is going to go ahead. I mean, we were talking a little bit early, not certain exactly how gas, fuel mileage was going to work here. Not entirely certain what the strategy was going to be. I know that I myself, with the fuel it estimated I had left, was going to be coming probably around lap 33, but now we're not entirely certain. I believe here what's going to end up happening is you split this remaining race in half. Pit lap, pitting 40 laps, be lap 60, then run to the end. It's probably going to be the play for most folks if we don't have another caution. And it looked like, they were 3 wide, racing pretty close. Looked like the guy in the middle just, was trying to give room to the outside, give room to the inside, and every time he'd move to give room, he'd start, I don't know if it was net code or if he realized how close he was and try and back off, but just ended up ping-ponging in there. Ended up taking the 50 and the 777 with him. If all is well, and I'm hoping that it is, then those guys should be able to get back out, get repaired. I don't believe there was too much damage with the inside wall. If there was, we do have 2 fast repairs per truck here in Lucky Dog Sim Racing, so I would expect if they have any damage, they'll go ahead and they'll use one of their fast repairs and they'll be back out with us. So we made up a lot of time there. Looks like on pit road, our leader, 51 of Craig Mayer, losing what looks to be 7 positions coming out. I believe we'll see when it comes back around. I came in pit road in 8th, and I came out ahead of the leader. So I believe that's a full 7 positions he lost on pit road. Probably overshot his box, be my guess. catch the pace car here. 6 of Brian Pierce heading back down pit road. So we are up to the 6th position. So because the 6 of Brian Pierce came back down pit road, likely to top the truck off, Craig Merritt gets away only losing 6 positions instead of 7. So we'll go ahead and we will go through our restart order here. So as things stand right now, restarting first will be the 19 of Ben Gear. 2 is outside, and second will be the 37 of Doug Lockrow. Restarting third will be the 70 of Gary Piccolo, and fourth will be the 28 of Larry Boyle, and fifth will be the 43 of Sandy Curtis. Will be your top 5 here in Kansas. We are currently 2 to green. We'll get that 1 to go next time by. The lights are out, and the great thing about this track, the darker, you still got a little bit of sun in the sky, not much, but the darker it gets here, the cooler this track is going to get. Even with us running on it, the more this track gets dark, the more grip we're going to end up having later and later in the run. And so, we weren't really checking out from each other. We were all pretty much pack racing there for those first 20 laps. As we get the 1 to go signal. For those first 20 laps, we were all pretty much pack racing. And pack racing, we weren't like the way we were running it. We were just all over each other pretty much that entire time. So that may be the way things play out from here to the end. I know pitting from the front is going to be difficult if you don't have the space. Now, we saw guys really migrating up towards the top the longer the run went on. So that might be what ends up happening is, as people migrate to the top, that'd be your opportunity to come down and pit. But like I said, I don't expect anyone to come to pit road before lap 60. Maybe if they want to try and short pit the leaders, try and take advantage of the leaders having old tires, get some lap times on some fresh tires. But if you come out alone, you're not going to be able to make up the time as effectively. So it's all a strategy game here. And what is the right strategy? We don't know. So we drop it down to 2nd gear, pace speed 65 miles an hour as Ben Gear leads us to that Geico restart zone. Green flag is back in the air here at Kansas. About a dead even start there for the front 2. Both of them getting a good push from the truck behind them. Just about all of us got about a dead even start. The 28, Larry Boyle, really leaving a lot of middle open. Was thinking about putting it in there. Saw him wiggle down trying to cut off that run that I was having. So I just go ahead and let him have it. It is too early to be running 3 wide. I think like that. Got a little tight. Wasn't expecting that going into turn 3. So you follow these guys down the front stretch. It's almost like running at Daytona right now. So what we're going to do for a couple laps, see how this thing shakes out. We're going to go ahead and do our first enjoy the noise. folks going on right now. We're up to the 3rd position, but every little bit of clean air, every little wheel input matters so much right now as close as we're running. So we're able to really hold our own right there. The rear of the 43, that 51, doing a good job holding his lane, holding his position there to the high side. It's really hurting our ability to come off the corners here. Sandy Curtis is trying to keep us side by side for as long as he can. We're able to nose ahead right there, but that 51 is going to put that side draft on us. We got 2nd place from him this time. He still has that outside, and that's kind of where I want to be right now. 43 doing a really good job. Ooh, we tagged the apron, had to really get out of it. Go ahead and we'll try not to repeat that. Happen up here at the front of the field. It's the last place you want to be having mistakes like that. Go ahead and we'll dive down to the bottom. Sandy Curtis saw us go. Came down to try and kill our momentum. Did a fairly decent job at picking us up. And what he's allowed us to do is we've now pulled ahead of the 51. We're going to dive to the bottom. We got that run on the 43. We want to lead a lap. He's to our outside. He's giving us that side draft. It's going to be hard getting past this 43. I'd say probably one of the hardest people in the league to pass. Right up there with Gary Slepinski, Paul Luke, Mike Pay. Once he gets the lead, he wants to stay there. We had a good run through 1 and 2. We're not going to have the drive off. We managed to pull our nose pretty far ahead. Going through turns 1 and 2 there. See if we can make this pass just barely clear. 75 to the point. That 43 is there. Now begins the hard part of holding everybody off. Go ahead and see if we can try and pin him down there, try and take away his momentum. See, he does the same thing we did. Pulls about half a truck ahead. That's going to come into play here in turns 3 and 4 the most, I feel. I think that's 43 is going to be going back to the point this lap. I don't think I'm going to be holding him off for too long. See how this plays out. Try and hold him down there on corner entry. That's what we're going to do. Try and really make him work his stuff. The more we do that, though, that's going to hurt our truck as well. We need to be careful. So the longer we're racing hard like this, and that's exactly what the 51 behind us wants us to do. He's like, keep racing like that, boys. Keep that up. Let me know when you're done. I'll take that spot from you. I expect that's exactly what he'll do. Saving I about dead even there to that start-finish line. Both of us misjudged corner entry there. A little bit of contact. All good, all good. Just good, solid, hard racing between the 43 and the 75. That Kyle Petty throwback-looking machine. Man, I love that truck. Got that mellow yellow on the side. Never really was a fan of the drink, but I was a big Petty fan as a kid, so it's just nice to get that truck out here, contender for the win, especially fighting up against this 75 Lucky Dog Series Chevrolet. Now the benefit of all this is I've already been given the lane I want later on in this run. I got this high lane, and this is where I want to be longer to go. I tell you what, this 43 is making me work for this lead. I want to be able to dive down there to the bottom while I'm leading this thing. Try and save some of my tires a little bit, but he is not having any of it. Leaving that inside open. This time we should have the run off the corner. Not. Still there. Just 1 and 2 again, lap 38 of 100. You'd think we'd be racing for the race win right here with the way we're running side by side. See, hops up behind me. We finally able to secure our spot here on the point. We can start running the lane, that line that we want to be running. Let's see how this works. That was a hard fight there. Give myself a little bit of a breather. So it being lap 40, coming to lap 41, I think like I mentioned, I wouldn't expect anyone to come to the road before lap 60. So we'll see how that plays out. I can flip the apron like a genius. I haven't decided when I'm coming down pit road. I don't know if the best thing to do would be to come down a few laps early, try and take advantage of the fresh tires while everyone's still running around on some baked potatoes, or if the best thing to do is bring it on lap 60. That'd be the best thing for long run speed. Maybe the best thing to do in the long run is to run it dry. Have fresher tires there towards the end. I don't know. I think a lot of it's going to be determined, unfortunately, by what the people behind me do. Those guys have the benefit of being able to come down pit road without me being able to react with any kind of efficiency. If Sandy Curtis decided he wanted to come to pit road this time, I'd have to go one more lap to be able to react to that. And he can make up a fair amount of time on pit road just by attacking it just a little bit harder than me. And it can make a difference. There's only 0.2 of a second separating the two of us. You can make that up easy on pit road. I mean, we've seen Gary Sapinski make up 2-3 seconds just on pit road entry. So that's something that everyone inside this top 5, we're really going to have to think about. Something that I'm thinking about, something that Sandy's thinking about. When do I want to come to pit road? Because as things stand right now, it looks like for the most part, what I can see in my rear view, we've for the most part single filed out. You can see there's a few of us running different lanes. Sandy Curtis, he's running high. It looks like the 51 of Craig Mayer, he's running down low. Doug Lockrow running high. So we're all just trying to run lines that we can to try and mitigate tire fall off, tire wear. I'm just trying to be smooth and steady and consistent. But it looks like for the most part, looking at our relative, we appear to have, for lack of a better word, stalled out. I'm not getting any further away from Sandy Curtis, but he ain't getting any closer. From what I can see, Craig Mayer, Doug Lockrow, I mean, right there as I'm talking about, they both lost 1/10 of a second, but that's in turn 1 and 2. And I want to say I'm better in 1 and 2 than they are. From what I was seeing, they seem to have like a better turns 3 and 4. And so I expect in turns 3 and 4, that's where they're going to make up their time. If what I'm seeing, what my crew chief is telling me is accurate. It is still a long race to go. We're not even to halfway yet. And this is one of those tracks. It's hard to win at Kansas. Kansas, I would put in the same category, and I think I've mentioned this before, as Las Vegas or Chicagoland. These are 3 mile and a half, especially in these trucks, where for the majority of the race, you can run almost completely full throttle. And you got tracks like that, I mean, everyone can drive with their foot through the floor. I mean, anyone can do it. And so you go ahead and you put us at put folks at 1.5 miles where, runs really seem to matter. You get people like myself who are insane and just send it on the outside at any given lap. Really keeps things competitive, I think, far longer than some other tracks. Kentucky, I'm looking at you when I say that. Don't get it twisted. Kentucky's a fun track. I do enjoy me some Kentucky every now and then. But with as easy as a track like Kansas is, once we kind of get to this position where we've stalled out our momentum a little bit, then the way that ends up working is it all of a sudden becomes, well, we stalled out. We stall out because we tore our stuff up? Do we stall out because we're all tire saving and we're just waiting for that right moment to strike? What's the plan here? And that's what we're all kind of thinking about just a little bit. I see Doug Lockrow, he's making up some time. Was 0.8 back, now 0.5 back, and I think he's bringing that 777 truck with him. Both those guys very, very good at saving tires just about anywhere they go. I mean, we got we were able to build a half-second there on that 43, but now I see what those guys are doing. See, they're catching me. I'm running the bottom. See where they're running. They're running single file up top. So it's making me wonder if what I need to do, start taking the air away from this top lane, just send it around the outside. This might be the path forward. We'll see. Doug Lockrow may have tagged the wall there, going through turns 1 and 2. He was coming, giving a really good push to that 43 truck of Sandy Curtis. And all of a sudden, he just started falling off. And that is going to throw all plans just about out the window. It's now people saving race. So I guarantee you everyone comes down pit road, takes 4 tires and fuel. Now, I don't know what happened to bring that caution out. I heard a call out that was happening on the back stretch, and that's well out of my rearview mirror at the time that was called. So unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Who almost got busted speeding, but not quite. So we'll see if we're able to maintain the lead here. 4 tires and fuel, left side's going on. Jack is down. Looks like we are able to indeed beat the 43 off of pit road. Craig Mayer looks like he made up 2 positions. Yeah, 2-3 positions. Craig Mayer, I might not be able to count. Craig Mayer came down pit road in 5th, came off pit road in 3rd. We take a look ahead of us, the 111 of John Henderson. He is opting to stay out, see if he can get his lap back. Now this is where I think strategies really come into play. I'm coming back down pit road just to top this thing off. I don't know if we're going to get another caution. And so what I want to be able to do is try and milk this for as much as I can. So, top this thing up. We should be good. All right, so that's going to put us pretty far back in the field. But with 46 laps to go, I got 45 and a half laps of fuel, so not certain there's enough fuel in this truck from here. So one more time, bring it down pit road and top it up. I believe this is going to be a fuel mileage race, and the less fuel I have to save, the better I think it'll be. Now, I don't know if this is going to work in my favor. We are going to find out. You got the 6, the 25, the 429, myself, and the 43, all of us coming down pit road. Probably all thinking the same thing. See a bunch of people up there came down pit road as well. Alrighty, so we are off pit road with 45.6 laps of fuel and 45 laps to go. So we should be half a lap to the good, and we're going to be running in the back in the draft. That's going to give us a lot more by way of fuel. And so let's go ahead, let's take a look at our restart in top 5. 33 Gary Ragland first, 50 of Todd Willis second, 51 of Craig Mayer third, 37 of Doug Lockrow fourth, and the 70 of Gary Piccolo will be fifth. As they head back into that Geico restart zone, second gear start, green flag is back in the air, hopefully for our final restart of the night. Get it into fourth gear here. You just send it through, trying to see what the path forward will be. I'm thinking the best thing to do is just find a good drafting partner and stick with him for as long as we can. 76, not certain what he's doing. Committed there to the bottom. Sorry, 56. Is going high. Did a pretty good job of his goal was spooky. He did a pretty good job. And that's A-okay. I mean, that's absolutely something sometimes you want to do, is just get the guy behind you a little spook so he backs off. That's exactly what I did. We set to work here on the bottom side of the track. Going with the 6 of Brian Pierce, 429. Paul Witt to my outside, 43 is Sandy Curtis out back. Like I said, I think this is going to be a fuel-saving race. Trying to follow the 6. He's got an effective line. Bit of a weird one, but it's effective. We'll learn that before too long. Really, we can work with the 6. I think we can make a lot. We can make a lot happen, especially with the 777 ahead of him. 429 to Paul Witt, stops it 3 wide on the outside. Back out here just in case. Everything looks all right. Everything looks all right. Everything looks good. We are 2 wide. Lifts, we can get back in line with the 6. Oh, I am up the track. Ooh, kept it out of the 25. 26, sorry. I was a little worried there what was going to happen. I am 3 wide bottom going into turn 3 here. We got a much better run than we did the previous turn. We shoot it right up along the bottom. as things stand right now, and I bet you everyone who pitted with me on that last stop, we're all good to the end. I got, according to my crew chief, I'm looking at about 2 laps to the good. And that's just, over that little bit of saving that we were able to do, just riding behind these guys. And that's what I was saying, like, you can find some good drafting buddies and stick with them. That'll be the way to go. Paul Witt keeping them 3 wide right there in the middle. Going into turn 3 and 4. A couple of these guys looking like they're getting a little loose with the way the air is playing around these trucks. Can't say as I blame them. It's definitely feeling a little weird to me. Showed our nose there just to see what would happen. Now we know. That's a good thing. It's a lot of concentration back here. All of us, on one hand, trying to save fuel, but also trying to get to the front. We can get ahead of the guys that really need to save. Might be able to make something happen. We don't know. We get another caution. Track position is going to be oh so important. I don't think we got one myself. We dive it off here into turn 1, making up a ton of time there on those guys ahead of us. I mean, if we're able to make that turn 1 arc, man, we are fast. We are so fast at turns 1 and 2. 3 and 4. This run we seem to be struggling in 3 and 4. Is not something I was expecting. I think last time I mentioned 3 and 4 was where we were strongest. Now we're up top. We're able to make that arc, gained us all of that time. See how this works. We're hanging around the outside, right behind that 777 fiber optic construction truck. Got the 6 Brian Pierce and that Air Force truck below us. We're able to take that spot away from the 6, puts us up into, I believe that'll be the 11th position. Trying to run here where there's some fresh air. Got the 77 to our inside, 777 just ahead of us to the outside. See if we can tuck in behind the 777, get a nice pull. We got it down the front stretch. That should help get us past the 77, back up into the top 10. Again, just trying to keep it right here in the middle of the track. Doesn't seem to be too many people running the middle. I think that's where the most of the fresh air is. And they are stacked up in front of us. Look, you probably throw a blanket over the 6 trucks immediately ahead of us. 777, 429, I believe that's the 37, the 51, is that the 28? Bunch of guys. Good to see that 89 truck, Randolph Richard out there, out front. Gary Ragland leading this thing. Last time we gave Gary Ragland the lead, he ran away with it. Of course, I was not able to broadcast that race. They are 3 wide ahead of me. So Gary wins this. Be nice to go ahead and finally talk to him post-race. 28 is falling the wrong direction. Tuck in behind this 777, see if he can help us get around these guys back here. There's a lot of speed behind these 2 trucks in front of me. The 777, I believe that's the 51. I can just work with them. Get right back up there. Ooh, got a little loose there coming off of turn 4. A little concerned about that. I can really feel this truck getting tight behind these guys. I mean, we're up to the 8th position. It's a pretty good run through the field that we've had. It's not over yet. Still got 7 trucks between us and the lead. As many laps as we have led this evening, we definitely want to get back up there. We want to get back to the point. laps to go. There's enough time. There's a lot of difficult trucks to pass. The 777, the 429, that 51. None of these guys are going to make it easy to get by. We got a lot of help out front. That's what's going to get us past the 429 here. That good draft pull we got going down the front stretch through these corners. And there we got that run down the back stretch. 429 tries to pull us back, just not enough. He now has the 43 to his outside. That's the 59 of Ralph Blair. They're ahead of us, trying to keep the 43 and the 429 side by side. I want those guys fighting each other. I don't want them up here with me. I want them back there fighting amongst themselves. We all saw how many laps I was fighting with that 43 truck just to take the lead, and then how long I had to fight to keep it. When we talking about that 43 up here inside the top 5 before this race is over. See if we can help this 777 pass the 59. Very aggressive block there. Side draft from the 59. I think I made a little bit of contact. Might have shot him up into the 777. Caution is back out. I did get a 0x warning about contact with the 59 just before that. Don't know if that was net code, if we actually made contact. Be one of those we go back and take a look at it on the broadcast. Broadcast probably caught that. Take a look at it on the race replay as well and issue apologies if necessary. There was some hard racing there. We were all fighting for that 5th spot. Those two just got into it and unfortunately unable to keep it off the wall. So now's the question. We came down pit road, 20 laps ago? Do you take tires here? If someone takes tires and there is no caution, that guy's going to win it. If you don't take tires here and there is a caution, then you've got, late, you've got one in the bank. And I believe most of us have already taken one set of tires. So I think the proper call here is to 4 tires and fuel. So 4 tires and fuel it will be. I think taking left sides only would be left sides or right sides only would be a little bit of a foolish mistake. Gary Ragland appears to have lost a bunch of positions there on that pit stop. Unfortunate. It should be everyone is now out of tires, and with 23 laps to go, none of us are going to need to stop for fuel. We'll see what the running order is here. I believe that's the pace car up there. I think everyone stopped. 4 tires and fuel. And if I'm looking at this correctly, I believe the big winner in all that is the 777. I could be wrong. Is he a lap down? No, he did. He was able to get down pit road before getting passed by the pace car, I'm guessing. 777 has inherited the lead. That's going to be a tough nut to crack. So restarting first will be the 777 of whoever is driving. Restarting second will be the 50 of Todd Willis. Third will be the 89 of Randolph Richard. Fourth will be the 51 of Craig Mayer. And fifth will be yours truly. But I got the people I've been fighting with all race, all around me. So this is going to be a difficult restart, to say the least. Get the Q1 to go, line up double files. I'll be restarting here on the bottom behind Randolph Richard and the 777. Going to have the 50, the 51, and the 37 to my outside. That 51, that 37. You get those two guys linked up. They are hard to beat. I got the 89 in front of me. Randolph getting better week after week after week. I mean, he's been running up here inside the top three quite a while this evening. So top five, top three. I think he's been top three for a bunch of laps this evening. He's going to be a hard guy to get by. And then that 43 right behind me in 7th place. You want to talk about the guy I'm keeping an eye on the most? It's at 43. He and I have been fighting each other tooth and nail pretty much the entire race. It's not going to be easy keeping that 43 behind me. This 777 leads us towards that Geico restart zone. Green is back in the air. Yeah, a little bit better restart than the 89, pushing him all the way down the front stretch here into turn 1. Trying to get as much momentum as we can with this bottom groove. We want to clear that 50. We got into the 89. Looks like he had to get out of the throttle there. Didn't want to wreck him. That would have taken us and Ed. That would have taken the whole field out. We are 3 wide. Whoo! Someone trying to push us up the track. Not where I want to be. We definitely got pushed up the track there into, I believe, the 37. So I'll make a point of talking to him after this race. Not entirely. He's trying to get to the inside of the 89, but he's not able to get there on that. Not able to make that move work, unfortunately. They are just as much all over the place in front of me. 777 got shuffled out of the lead. It is to the point where we are just sending it as hard as we can. 16 laps left in this race. I don't think it's time to save. I think it's time to go. That is sometimes the price for trying to take it 3 wide down there on the bottom. When you cut that apron, they do not have to let you back up, and there was not a whole lot of room there. Opted to just go ahead and hit the brakes back out of it as opposed to keep in it. And I believe we would have wrecked if I'd done that. Let's not do that, not at this point in the race. Drops us back, I believe, to the 9th position. To the inside of the Mr. Piccolo. Get by him. Should get us pretty close to the rear bumper of the 19. You should be able to slide up right behind him. Didn't slide up the track that time. Just kind of sticking with the lane I feel's got the speed. We're going to continue sending it right here through the middle. We go, so that should keep us right here in the 8th position. We try to make this bottom lane work again. Going to bring us right up to the rear bumper, I believe, of the 89. We're going to have to figure out what we want to do, because this 89 is one tough truck to pass tonight. And we keep it middle here. Dive it low. Not quite able to clear the 19. We're thinking about sending it 3 wide. Not quite there. Not close enough to be able to make that happen. 11 laps to go. And we tried to do something, it didn't work. It didn't work at all. 429 taking them 3 wide ahead of us. Let's see how this works. A bit of contact between us and the 19. Whatever that was, it appears to have benefited us. The 429 is no longer to our outside. Sounds like there was some contact between the two that were high. 19 of Ben Gear hit us a little bit just trying to avoid that. So that's, I mean, it all turned out to be in our favor. We got a position out of it. So hard to pass. Just got past the 70 of Gary Piccolo. Shooting it here around the outside. Gets us up to 6th. I don't know that we have enough time to catch that 50 truck. Not unless we can get around the 19 and the 89. Problem is we're so much faster than these two guys, we just can't get past them. And there we go. Got them both. First time we've been able to make 3 wide, really, me personally, been able to make three wide really work here tonight. Gets us up into the 4th position. We set to work trying to see if we can get past the number 9 of John Held. Get us into that podium position. Not a little bit of a bump, let him know we are coming there on corner entry. Get a call out that he is running on some pretty old tires. Letting us have the position. Now we see, can we catch Craig Mayer and Todd Willis? This is going to be a tall order. The guys are both very fast. Todd's going to have that benefit of that clean air pretty much all race. I've been back there in traffic running as hard as I can. My truck is nowhere near as fresh as that 50, and I bet you that 51, he's got an even better truck than that. He's just waiting for his time to pull out and just take that position. If you guys start racing side by side, that should bring him closer to me. So we'll see how this works. Lost time to Todd Willis, gained time on Craig Mayer. Lost time to both that turn, trying something a little different. Did not get me anything except a little bit of time on John Held. We're just gonna have to stick with what we've been doing because we know it works. I don't think it's going to work well enough. Todd Willis takes 2 laps to go this time. Just got our five more laps left in the tank, so we are definitely good to the end. Todd Willis here taking the white flag. He's got 7/10 on the 51 of Craig Mayer. Craig Mayer 7/10 on me. I believe you see us running Todd Willis first, Craig Mayer second, 75, William Keller third. That is probably going to be our finishing order. Here as Todd Willis goes through turns 3 and 4 one final time. All he needs to do is not run out of gas. 51 holds on to second. So Todd Willis first, Craig Mayer second, William McKellar third, John Held fourth. Lee Staples will be your 5th place finisher. Congratulations to all of our drivers. I'm going to see who is in the team speak call so I can pull people up into the booth to give them their interviews. Well, we have been through the entire TeamSpeak call, and there is only one driver who finished inside the top 3 that I can find, and that is your winner, the number 50 of Todd Willis. Todd, this is William in the booth. You got me?
Yes, sir. I got you, William. How you doing, buddy?
You know, I'm doing fantastic. I didn't think that I didn't think that we were going to get strung out towards the end there. Just watching how we've been running all night long. You know, we had people running side by side most of the race, but you managed to not only get out ahead, you managed to build a gap where really no one had been successful in doing that prior in the race. How were you able to build that, really solidify that win you had going?
Well, I got in front of Michael Pegg. I think he took 2 tires and I had 4, and I just got a little bit of advantage because Michael's a super strong racer. And that clean air, William, is just awesome here. A lot of down pressure, and you can kind of hold it wide open and kind of pick your line there. So it was kind of to first place advantage, having that clean air out front.
And that'll do it. And that's not an easy thing to do with, someone like the 51 of Craig Mayer running behind you. We know that he's a super strong driver, but you put it out there. I mean, we see you running out front just about every week, and it's always nice to see someone, finally get that thing finally put together. How does this feel after, I'd say getting taken out of contention most weeks due to no fault of your own?
Yeah, I tell you, if anybody's got bad luck, it's me a lot of times. And Craig I was definitely, it was a lot of mirror racing on my part. I really thought he was going to get me there, but I was holding that inside line, and it's kind of hard to pass on this outside unless you got a pusher behind you. So I think I got semi-lucky, and I appreciate Craig running with me there. It was a good race.
It was a fantastic race. I didn't see. Were you able to keep clear of all the incidents we had this evening?
I did. I finished with a 0X, so that was pretty good.
Hey, and that's always a good feeling. Well, is there anyone you want to thank before we let you go, Todd?
Just the Lucky Dog guys, man. I love running with you guys on Tuesdays and Thursdays whenever I get a chance with the work schedule, and you always do a great job in the booth there, William, and I just appreciate all you guys, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I know that Brian and Michael appreciate that, and we love having you. Hopefully this is a regular thing. I think I like talking to you post race.
Oh, I hope it is, man. I enjoy talking to you too. It's fun racing with all you guys, man. It's a good group and a lot of strong race car drivers.
Oh, well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us, Todd, and hopefully we get to talk to you next time.
Yes, sir, William. Sounds good, buddy. Take care.
And I do believe, because like I said, I couldn't find really anybody else in the TeamSpeak call who finished inside the top 3 besides, myself. And, you heard me jabber on all night. You don't need to hear nobody interview me. You knew exactly what was going on from my perspective. So go ahead and we have our late model stocks tomorrow night. Green flag qualifying at 8 o'clock. Green flag should be around 8:05. Same for our Xfinity races in the Xfinity Super Speedway Series on Saturday. Again, 8 o'clock qualifying should be a fun time there on Saturday. Obviously, we take Sunday off, and we hope everyone enjoys the NASCAR race. If you are fans at, I do believe they're at Martinsville this weekend. And then we'll be right back at it with the Gen 4 Cup Series on Monday, and you'll hear from me again on Tuesday with the Gen 6 mile-and-a-half series. Hope to see you there. If you like what you saw, give us a like. If you didn't like what you saw, give us a dislike. Either way, we hope we like hearing from you. So go ahead and like, dislike, comment, subscribe. Just let us know. But I think that'll just about do it for me. So until next time, have a good one.